Okay, you're listening to 91.5 WUML Lowell Blues Deluxe. It's my honor and pleasure to have Tom Forst with me from a band called Beyond 1969.
Hey John, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be on your show. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. So tell me about yourself a little bit. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you start out from?
I actually am still in still in the same general area. I'm in Connecticut. Grew up in kind of a downtrodden town on eastern Connecticut. Now I live on the shoreline in Connecticut, Old Saybrook. So
Yeah, I know where
yeah,
that is. I'm in Mass, so yeah, we're not too far apart.
right. We'll have to get together one of these days. I
You have to bring your band with play the blues on the show. Coming to my show.
I would love that. I would love that. Um, it's we are starting to do a lot of touring. We tend to focus on New England, so it works perfectly for us.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You have a big gig coming up at Mohegan Sun, right?
Right. We're we tend to we've given up the clubs. We said to ourselves, you know what? We're kind of in a spot now where we can start to do theaters, and now we've got a whole bunch of theaters all set up, and Mohegan Suns is one of them, and we also do a lot of festivals this coming, couple of months from now. So,
So growing up, what were you listening to? Who were you listening to growing up?
I don't know if everybody knows this band, but I'm not. First of all, I want to say I'm not your traditional blues guy. Um, I love Muddy Waters, etc., but really stuff that got me going was Mike Bloomfield, Electric Flag, those kind of bands. Johnny Winter,
Blues
uh,
Project.
Blues Project. Yes, more. I'm more of a Johnny Winter guy. I'm more electric blues. I've always been that way. I love the feel of it, the emotion of it. So I guess I'd have to say I'm a cross between Johnny Winter and, if I can kind of pat myself on the back, maybe Joe Bonamassa, uh, kind of
Well,
kind of feeling.
Johnny didn't live too far from you guys when he was here, when he lived here.
No, as a matter of fact, I know I've met his wife, and my last album was produced
Paul Nelson.
by Paul Nelson.
See,
Yeah,
I know.
I know. Wow, I hesitated. You filled it in for me. Thank you. I could use you with a conversation with my wife. Uh, yeah, Paul Nelson produced my album. He's a Grammy winner, and he passed away, but,
Yeah.
he was the tour manager and guitar player
Johnny.
with Johnny. And boy, I mean, he was a world class player. He's
Yeah.
actually on the album. He does some slide work with me. So yeah,
And his club's
very.
still going.
Which that?
His club is still going strong.
Oh yeah,
And he was archiving Johnny's stuff too before he died. He was
a- absolutely yes. In fact, in fact, Johnny Winter had a an amp that he always used, a Fender Super, it's called, and I actually used it on the recording. Um,
wow.
so that was quite a pleasure. So.
So the band Beyond 1969. What made you decide to do this? I mean, it's music of the late 60s, early 70s, correct?
Yeah, we actually, after you've been beating your head against the wall, constantly playing venues and doing all original music, which I've been doing for the last 18 years, we said, you know what? Maybe we need to sell our soul a little bit. So we started. to do music that we loved and grew up with in the 60s and 70s. And we said, but we're not going to be a tribute band. We're going to take all these songs and reimagine them. So we did. We have an entire show of that kind of music done our way. But we also use it as a way to introduce our original music. And we find that, after you do Born to Be Wild, they're very accepting, the audience is very accepting of you playing some original music. So that's kind of how we play that game.
So you split it up a little bit. You play hippie music, as I call it, from
Me
that
too.
era, huh?
Me too. Yes, me too.
And then you play some of your originals, which fit right in, I bet, to some of it.
They do. We the album that we have called Back to the Blues, by the way, is a rock blues album. But it is done in the style of when we all grew up. So
Yeah,
yes, it had, in fact, kind of taking a page from way they used to record. The album is done live in studio.
great.
Yeah, we
And that
just the four of us.
and that comes out the end of April, right?
It does. It does.
And you
Yep.
have a video that just came up. I saw.
Oh boy, you are prepared. I appreciate that. Yes. Yes, it's our title track, and it's called Coming Back to the Blues, and it's kind of our life. It's kind of indicative of us we touring and playing music that maybe we didn't love, and then deciding screw it, we're going to go back to the blues, and that's where we are today.
We should try to get you to come in and play live on my show sometime in April if we can do it.
I would love it. I would love it. That's
Because
that
it
sounds
would be a
great.
great way to promote the record, promote your show at Mohican Sun, and we're not, we're about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
People like what you're doing. Maybe they'll come see you there too.
Oh, that would be great. I would love that.
We
Thank you for the invite.
we need to work that out if we can
All
do
right.
that. So
Well, Doug. Great. We have a great a publicist, Doug Deutsch,
Doug
and
Deutsch,
he's
yep.
yep, and I'll make sure we set that up. That sounds like a great idea.
So tell me about the rest of the guys in the band. Your history with them. They've been around too, from what I can see.
Yes, I mean, I tend to be the oldest guy in the band. Tony D'Alessio is a world-class bass player. It's cool because even though it's blues, he's more of a groove and funk guy, and it really works so well. Brian Caudle is probably one of the best drummers in Connecticut. He's so sought after for studio and live shows. And then Jeff Bousfield, a multiple keyboard player, it's got all kinds of background as far as music writing and doing studio work and live stuff. So it's just the four of us. The album, we decided not to bring anybody else in because we thought it might hurt the kind of live, the live dynamic
The
of
feel
the
of it.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? It has a few warts, here and there because it's live. But we left them. We said this is it. This is the music, and we have a great studio, Horizon Studios in Connecticut. It's the number one award-winning studio in Connecticut, and it was we had a great time there. We just set up some mics and went to town.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you come and play on my show, you're gonna get a full recording of it too.
Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic.
Multi-track, everything. It'll be
Oh,
yeah. Oh, is right. Yeah.
wow, fantastic.
So we'll have to. I'll have to work with you and Doug. I have your phone number. We'll just figure it out.
Absolutely, I would. We would love that, and we really are pretty hot live. It's this is not, yeah, as you probably know. If you go and see a band these days, you're going to see guys that show up for that one show, and they might be really great. I mean, you've got some great players in Boston. Um, but we're different. We won't do a show unless it's the four of us because we're well rehearsed and the songs all have breaks and tight stuff in them. So you'll see a different show. It won't be like, hey, let me turn the music.
Well, now I want to get back. I want to get into your blues background.
Sure.
I read some of your bio, and
Uh-huh.
it says you were a judge down at the International Blues Challenge. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it for a couple of years straight. Um, I'm really, I love the blues, and I wanted to do it, and I've done it several times.
And
It's
who?
it's a
Who?
thankless job, by the
Well, yeah, I know. But
way.
tell me some of the people you've seen down there while you've been judging that opened your eyes, or you thought, "Wow, where'd they come
well,
from?"
well, and I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember names because so many people went by all the time. But there were a couple of standouts who, and this is just me. So a
Yeah.
lot of people, I'm in the Blues Society. I'm on a board for the Hudson Valley Blues Society. But I'll tell you, there are a lot of blues people that say, oh, well, I don't know, is he really a blues guy? And for me, I am. Because Johnny Winter was a blues guy, and I'm a blues guy. But there were a few people that did traditional music that I thought, wow, they did it their way. And to me, that's creative. To
Yeah.
copy the song, to me, is maybe a skill, but it's not a creative endeavor, I guess. I guess I'd look at it that way. So some people just, they took old songs. You know what it is? I mean, look at me. I'm 74 years old. I have never picked cotton. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and yet, I got these guys from the suburbs singing about, how hard it was picking cotton. I don't know. It just seems disingenuous in a way. I'm probably making enemies by saying that, but you can cut that part out.
Nah, that's all right. That's
Yeah,
okay.
no. No, and I tell everybody that. They'll say, well, is this blues? And I say, everything is blues. I mean, that's the foundation,
Yeah.
unless you're playing a polka. This is all blues.
So, no standouts that you can remember.
No, no, not by name. I'm sorry. I wish
Yeah.
I could. But
Yeah.
like I say, I probably saw 50 acts over the last couple of years. Um,
Both
you know, I,
acoustic and electric, or both?
both,
Both.
both acoustic and electric, and like I say, I lean to that. But to me, number one, if you're doing an original, that gives you extra points. If you're doing a cover, then I expect to hear
Something
your
different.
take.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And if it's exactly like, you know, exactly like the original, I'm thinking, why are you here?
Right.
I could listen to the record. Uh, anyway,
Well, that's good input for people that are listening that go out, actually go down and try to compete. I've told them that
yeah,
you got to play all originals, stay away from the covers, and make them your own. And then
ex-
who
yeah,
knows? Who knows what'll
yeah,
happen?
yeah. You don't know, and it to me it's ear candy. I gravitate to all new music. If I've heard the song, 10 times, there's no surprise in the song. So I'm not interested in listening to it. But if I hear new music, there's always something around the corner that I say, "Whoa, I didn't expect that." And to me, that's the beauty of music. It's the feeling and kind of the surprise.
Yeah, I was down in Memphis. What is it? 3 years ago, I was there. I got my Keeping the Blues Alive award during
Oh
the,
yeah, yeah.
and I saw a guy named Mark Muleman Massey, a great acoustic guy from down in Mississippi,
Mm,
and he does his own thing. He writes his own songs. He he was in Parchment Farm too, just like all the others.
hmm.
And he was telling his story and playing his music. It was great. He didn't win, but he was good.
Yeah, you know what? I will say, and again, you can cut this out too. A couple of times, I saw stuff that was just not good, and the audience still loved it, and I felt kind of bad, I
But you're a musician. You know what's good.
yeah, I guess that's. I mean, of course, I'm listening with a little different ears, but sometimes it's so obvious. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
So tell me about guitarists. You mentioned Johnny Winter. Who else? Who else floats your boat?
Well, like I said, Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah.
I love him. Walter Becker. Uh, and you could say, well, Walter's not. He was not a blues guy, but he was. He infused incredible blues and jazz into his music, and I'm because
Uh,
I'm I don't want to be the guy that shreds. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
can and I do for the show, but I want to be the guy that holds on to that one note and just makes you wonder when is that going to change, and I bend it, just bend it just right. And when I meet some of those guys, like a Walter Becker, uh, I'm just awed by their playing because it's not about their technique; it's about the song and how they felt toward the song, you know. And like I said, Michael Bloomfield. I guess if I listened to anybody and kind of wore the grooves out of a record, it would be Bloomfield with Electric Flag and Bloomfield with Stills and Cooper, uh, who I guess is still up, right? Cooper's still
Yeah,
up
he's
at,
still up here. He's still up here.
yeah.
Al.
Yes, my son is one of the very few that graduated from Berkeley in Boston. Because usually the guys, get there for a year and then they go off and tour. But I made him stay all the years to graduate.
Yeah, he had a band. Al Cooper had a band at Berkeley called the Funky Faculty for a while. He did.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I don't know that band, but I mean, he is in my high regard
Well,
as
yeah,
a
he played with all
musician.
those people, including Dylan. Both of them did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are, and they're icons, and
Yep.
Mike Bloomfield, as an example, died, pretty young,
Yep.
by my standards. But I saw him as an emotional player, and that's,
Yep.
I may not be the best player in the world, but if I leave a show and I said, well, musically I kind of told a story and it was full of emotion, then I can live with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about the British guys? Who do you like?
Well, I mean, Clapton, um, um, I mean, even the Stones, those guys, they were blues guys.
Yep.
I always admired them. Um, Harrison was a blues guy, a blues kind of slash country guy. Some of those are the regular guys. Um,
Well, you got
I'm
Mick
trying,
Taylor. You got Peter Green from that
right? Oh,
period.
right. Peter Green. God, he's an amazing player. But when I look at an amazing player, I'm not looking at the guy who can shred. That to me is a real skill, and I appreciate it. And sometimes I'm guilty of it. But if I find I'm shredding too much, I automatically cut back because it's not about the song anymore. It's about some gymnastics that
Right.
I can do, and that's not what the song is about. You know, my grandmother was a burlesque dancer, and I remember her telling me the altar is the stage, and you pray to the song. And I thought that's that's
That's a
some
good
pretty good.
way. Yeah, that's a good way to
Yeah,
look at it.
that's a pretty good advice. I didn't realize she was a burlesque dancer until later, but
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of guitarists. How about currently guys out there today that you, because you're a
boy,
guitarist,
you know.
other than Joe Bonamassa? I know he's
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, guys like him, but I'll tell you, you're gonna be surprised by this maybe, but I don't listen to music very much at all, if at all. Um, I listen to songs if I have to learn them because I'm in several. I do some other side shows, you know, with other bands that do theaters and stuff. But I listen to that music, and I haven't listened to anybody in a long, long time that I can remember that really wowed me, honestly. And I think it's because I don't listen to that much. I don't listen to much music.
well, I could turn you on to a lot of people I listen to. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I guess it's been a long time since I've been kind of wowed, like you know, like pull off, you know, like in the old days, you'd be listening, you know, you come home from a gig at 2 in the morning, AM station, you know how the signal goes low to the
Yeah,
ground,
that's no
and
more. That's no more.
no,
You can't do that anymore.
I know, but we'd be in the whole band would be in my Rambler, you know, and
Yeah.
we'd hear a song, you know, like by Zeppelin as an example, and we'd pull off the road because you know you're going to lose the signal around that bend, you know.
Yeah.
And those days, for me, those days are pretty much gone. And I I find some kind of solace in the fact that I'm trying to be somebody who's maybe doing something a little different than is out there. And one way I do it, in a way, is to sit here and I have a studio. This is part
Yeah.
of my studio in my house, and I have a whole recording setup. So I write songs constantly to play over. So I play keys, drums, bass, and guitar. The guitar, I so to me that's the best training ground because I'll listen to it and I'll play over it, you know, 10 times and finally get what I want. Through that, I learn new melodies because I'm a melody guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I know I didn't quite answer your question, but that's
That's
because
all right because
I
you don't
don't really
listen.
know.
Yeah, you don't really listen. That's all right. That happens.
Yeah, well,
You'd be
I'm that
surprised.
guy.
You'd be surprised at people that grew up during our era of time, that don't realize that there is still stuff out there that you can find that's great.
My son, as I said, is actually a very successful composer in L.A. and he always is trying to turn me on to new music, and he says the same thing.
There's quite a
Uh,
bit of it out, and I'll tell you
yeah,
right now, there's some great acts in Europe that come
yeah.
over here that are
Mm.
doing blues. Surprisingly enough,
Well, there are some young. I know there are young guys out there that still can really well on blues for sure. And again, no name comes
well,
to
we got
mind.
Monster Mike Welch here in Massachusetts, in Boston.
Hmm.
He's been
Hmm.
out there for a while. Um, and there's people out in Chicago too. I see a lot of different new guys like Kingfish is his name, is another great young black blues player. He's great.
That is someone I know and have heard really, really good. Yeah, really good and very, very soulful.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. You know what it is? I think because of Facebook and the internet, you can go every 2 steps and find somebody that's going to show you something on the guitar. And young kids are, some of them are so amazing with their facility, and I appreciate it, except that I don't see much of getting back to that, emotional part.
The soul part of
That,
it.
yeah, and that to me, I guess just an old guy here, an old fart, but I miss that. That's why when
There
I
is.
listened to Electric Flag, that was
Well, there is. There are people out there.
yeah,
You just got to find them.
yeah,
That's the hard part. And
yeah,
that's why
yeah,
people come to me to listen to see if I can find those guys for them. And I
yeah,
do every so often. It's not very often I get it, but when I do, that's the reason I still do it. Is
yeah.
is to find those guys, those little special diamonds in the rough, as I call them.
Hmm.
You won't hear those guys for 15 years or 20 years, and all of a sudden someone comes up like Stevie Ray Vaughan did in the 80s. Same thing.
Yeah. I should have said that name. That's for sure because he was a guy that brought blues to a new height and um, an emotional player. Oh my God,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and his style was so interesting and so unique. And you saw him, and you just see him perform. He's leaving it all on the
The
stage.
stage. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So how do people find out about you and the band?
Well, they can go to the post office and probably see our names up on wanted posters. Um, if they want to see the band, and like you said, there's a brand new live video out that can be found on our website, which is beyond1969.com. We're all over Facebook and other places, the
How about
normal places.
YouTube? You have a
Uh,
lot of stuff on YouTube, or
yes, but most of it is on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Tom the Suit Forst.
the SUIT Force.
SUIT, and it's Forst, everybody.
FORST. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. You would think a simple name like that. I never see it spelled correctly, even on in theaters. So, yeah.
So that's good. You're in the Connecticut area. I've had some great bands, blues bands from Connecticut. A band called Blue Steel that came one time and played on my show, and
Hmm.
um, one of the guys was from the Siegel Schwall band. Remember them?
No, I don't.
They're a '70s blues band from the '70s. Corky's.
You'll never,
Go
you
ahead.
won't find anybody, John, that is less educated than me. So,
I'm pretty
and
educated with it when it comes to
I
that stuff.
I can see that. And my wife, by the way, would verify anything that I say is negative toward me. So, I've been married 50 years, by the way. So,
Congratulations.
same woman, and I see a musician and they'll say, well, how many women is that?
So yeah, Connecticut has always had some great bands all these years. I've had a lot of local Connecticut bands come in and play on my show, and every one of them has been top notch. Every one.
Yeah, there are some, and I'm also a judge for the Connecticut Blues Society. I've been
Yep.
doing that for forever, and occasionally a band will come along, and I'll go, man, that's good. I play with in Boston is I've done some shows with James Montgomery,
Yeah, I know him.
yep, and Christine Allman, um,
Yep.
yep. I've done some. In fact, Christine is on one of my last albums. We did a duet together.
She knows me.
Yep.
She's been around a long time and done a lot of. She's Saturday Night Live. I mean, she's a
Yeah.
busy
Yeah.
woman.
Oh, My God, yeah. We did a theater thing. We did one of my songs that I actually wrote when I was 17, um, and she was fantastic. And James is an icon. He's on a couple of my songs as well.
Yeah, one of my favorites though of who I used to see in Cambridge. Well, when he came to Cambridge was Luther Allison. I don't know if you know him.
I do, I do. I don't know him. I know
No,
his
but
music. Yeah,
he was great. He
yeah,
was one of those guys that had lots of soul and played forever.
yeah. That's yeah. That's to me. What's blues? It Somebody said this, and it's not mine. It's telling how bad things are with the hope that they're going to be better. That's what blues is, and
Yeah.
I really agree with that. That's why I'm careful about. I only write things in blues, and I write a lot of songs. I only write things in blues that I have some information on, some personal information, or some information in my general area that I know what I'm talking about, and it's not about picking cotton.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, I just want to say thank you for taking some time out of your busy day.
Hey, thank you.
And like I said, let's figure out a date. My show's on Saturdays, 3 to 6 in the afternoon,
Writing it down. Okay.
and you can listen in if you want. I'm
Yeah.
online. I'll give you
Yeah.
the link. It's www
Yep.
dot wuml.org.
Great. I will listen.
And you'll hear some things I'll play that you might like. You might say, who is that?" And I play a lot of different things. I mean, I go deep into um, British blues sometimes, or I'll go deep.
Mm.
I do all kinds of things, and I mix it up.
Yeah.
I'll play a John Lee Hooker tune, and then something completely new right after it. So you'll hear a
That's
whole bunch of things.
that's great. I'd love all the purists out there to listen to that because that's that's the way it should be listened to. I think.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it's evolved over all this. I was listening to Lonnie Johnson the other day. You know him?
Hmm. I know the name. Yep.
He is one of the earliest. He was in Louis Armstrong's band.
Hang on one second.
Yep.
I'm in my studio. I've got these two 4-pound dogs.
There you go.
Okay, now this is this is this is Tinkerbell and this is Abby, and you have to see how small they are. They think
Yeah.
that they're lions. All right, stop it.
They're happy. They're happy. What can you say, right?
Well, I'm on a second floor, and I have a window where they have a little shelf that they jump
Oh,
on,
yep.
and they don't like any trucks with logos.
Yep.
So they're always barking. I'm sorry, but
So that's all right. So what I
okay.
was trying to tell you was Lonnie Johnson was in Louis Armstrong's band, and BB King idolized this guy, guitar
Yeah.
player,
Uh-huh.
and he's so good. He was so good back then. You'd be surprised at what he was playing. His guitar playing was incredible from the 20s. He was playing
Hmm.
that.
Well, there are some players out there whose technique is so unique
Right.
that if you, and this is what I tend to do, if I see something that's unique, then I might just grab that little piece and try to see if it works with me.
Me. Yep.
And if it doesn't, if it doesn't, I leave it. If it does, and I pick up a lot of that stuff. It's not even like the song, because the melodies I make up, but some of the techniques out there are amazing.
Oh yeah, there
Even
are.
even shredders, there are some shredders out there who once in a while will do something that I'll just say, wow, I have to at least try that.
Figure out how to play it, right?
Yeah, at least try the technique. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'll let you get back.
Okay, 3 dogs, 2 dogs, and me. There we go.
And I'll be.
Hey, John.
I have your phone number. We'll have to set up and figure out when you can come. Bring
Absolutely.
the band and come on in. We'll record you.
We will do that. Absolutely sure.
All right. Thanks again,
John,
Tom.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Take care.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
now.